it's very clear that there was a water ingress here. There's corrosion on this, on that. There is some corrosion around the PCB. There is even more here underneath places. So I think it is just a question of seeing whether we can save these PCBs or they're permanently damaged. Yeah. Here you can clearly see on the PCB multiple places copper oxidation. It looks quite serious. So the first step of the repair is going to be mechanically, with a toothbrush, remove all these crusty composites. These are PCBs that were affected by the moisture and had corrosion in various spots all over the PCBs. The first step was to mechanically remove it using a toothbrush. So basically all the crystals that were there were removed. The color suggested this was a copper carbonate deposits, probably from salty water or some form of electrolytes that affected the copper elements. Also moisture between the metals used for components, terminals, and the copper itself on PCB could react and create copper carbonates or copper oxyhydroxides. It's quite possible. But anyway, this is all mechanically now cleaned. Now what I'm unable to do is to get under the components, under all these little ICs. I can suspect there is still some deposits under there. So the next step is going to use vinegar or some form of weak acid on the PCBs and try to remove it. Now there are very thin traces here, and if I use the vinegar too much, too long, too aggressively, I risk that it's not going to work. There are also switches here in various places, and this can also cause some malfunction to those switches. So this is distilled water, and the fact that electronics and water do not mix well, it's not true for distilled water. That's actually what works probably best to clean any residues. So that's the best way to get rid of any chemicals that are spilled on the electronics. And then we're going to leave it to dry. Now it's time to put it together. So we are going to start with this bit. That's the battery contact, and I need to attach this cable here. Now this goes in here. Then the next step is to put the buttons here into place. Then two PCBs. Then we need to attach, there is a connector here, and then this PCB needs to go onto the tray. Taps around, they need to engage. Good. And the tray goes into this area. That's a little bit tricky to put in there. Jumped into position, and now all of this needs to go in. I think it is in. I think it jumped in. This is the trickiest part of it. You can test whether these buttons do work, whether they feel like they are working. Also, if sockets are here aligned. There is also one more thing you may not be able to see, but here in this corner there is a little switch that detects whether the screen is open or closed, and if this works, it means the PCB sits in the correct place. You'll be able to see it from inside. Yeah, in my case it's working nicely, so I think that sits in place. And then here is a wire from the speaker, it needs to go into its place. So there is a little plastic tab that this wire needs to go around. Yeah, so this wire goes into this tab. Okay, now this wire goes here into this PCB over there. Then the next thing is to get a copper shield here on the main processor. Here you can see the heatsink. I'm going to clean this a little bit because there is some tarnish. And then the next stage is to get lens assembly into the camera. It's a good opportunity to clean the lens. We haven't done it yet. Lens assembly is not fixed by any screws yet. It just goes. There are locators here, two locators for the lens. You can see these tabs here, they need to go into this tube. Here we go. Okay, get this bracket into position. Okay, all assembled.